Nobody cares about this, right? Anyway. What can I talk to you about? Hi everybody, welcome to the show. Today is episode 127. We will be planning June projects. Yes, planning June projects. That is Brienne of Tarth. If you have not seen her before. That's our baby. She's like 1 year old, but she's still the baby. Okay, I'm sitting on a button on the chair. Well, that was strange. Okay. Welcome to my knitting channel. I'm obviously wildly unprepared as always. I am wearing the Beginner Shrug by Twisted Twig Crochet, which is a $4 pattern on Ravelry. It is crochet, uses worsted weight. I really do like it, other than that it's crochet. Unprepared because I just picked out this top, which you can't even see, so maybe I don't even bother. Oh, it's Knit Crate, so you can't get it anymore anyway. Uru yarn, sugared worsted, in the colorway Roses. It is sparkly. Who's yelling at their dogs? This house up here. Call it the Yellow House. They got a puppy. I hate when people get puppies because people don't realize that you get a puppy, and it was a puppy, small, and now it's bigger. I think it's probably some sort of lab from the growth rate. Looks like a black lab. You have to teach a puppy everything, and this puppy, so far, I've seen it run out of the house, and this guy takes his sweet time getting to her, and I'm like, the dog's gonna run to the road and get hit by a car. I don't understand why it's hard to keep your dogs, and they have a fence. We have a fence. Do you know how many times our dogs have gotten out of our yard? 0 times. We've been here for 10 years. 0 times have they gotten out of the yard. 0. There's 3 times Foster's got out. 1 time Henry got through. Where is it? Is it here? Okay, you can't see. But this is chain link fence. And then here behind me you can see the white picket fence. Goes all the way, and then they meet right behind this thing. And Henry was small enough when he got here, because he was all skin and bones, to get through where those two meet. We have plastic chicken wire set up there now, so no one can get through. So he got through. I had to jump. I had to hop this. And there's spikes at the top. I had to hop that, and thank God when I called his name, he stopped. Then we had a little tiny, last year, that little tiny mini poodle, toy poodle, that could go through. She Terminator 2'd her way right through the bars, and she went this way. But then she was drawn to a mess that these people's dog had left on our lawn. So she stopped to smell it, and then I caught her. The other one, Chi-Chi, who is we fostered forever, And finally, my sister adopted her. My nephew was in love with her. And so my sister and my nephew were both in love with her. So they took her. She got out the front door in winter and just took off. She didn't even look when she crossed the street. And I'm talking about the very, very busy street that we have here. She just took out the front door. I don't even remember why it was open, because we have gates usually that I'll put the gates up so you're behind the gate before I open the door. And she just took off. So I took off with no shoes in winter in the snow, and I had to chase her up across the street, through the whole back of like a development of houses, until I think she stopped to pee or she stopped to smell something, and that's when I grabbed her and I just put my hand around her harness and just was like, and she's a big old like Boston Terrier, but a fat one, like a big, muscly, stocky, fat one. 3 times dogs have gotten. None of our dogs. Our dogs will have a panic attack if we want to take a walk or want to get them in the car. They don't want to leave here. It's hilarious. Like, I accidentally gave them my agoraphobia. It's hilarious. Anyway. I don't know. Anyway, whips. My main whip right now is the Neutral Territory by Katie DeGroff Knits. I have added in our final color, which I don't know if you'll be able to see. I can't see the monitor real well because of all the lights, so I'm kind of guessing at what you can see. It's a blue. It's called Raven. It looks like this. I've showed you this. It's purple and blue and pink and gray and black. It's very pretty. So that is being held with the dark cherry. The color is called cordial cherries, right? So we're at the part where they're being worked together. We are on the decrease part, which is so cool. I've never seen a thing do this. I've never seen a shawl decrease this way. I'm so excited. It doesn't look great. I think it looks fantastic. I'm so excited to have this for me. It looks like it's working up exactly like I thought it would. Like, just exactly. I love it. I picked the color because if you look at the one I made before, the middle color is the one you use the most. It's the one you're shown the most. So I wanted the cordial to be the color I saw the most, and then the next color is this Raven with the blue. I think they go. It's a low contrast, which is what I wanted. Almost finished with this. I feel like it's taking forever, but in reality, I haven't really been working on it that much. I haven't been working on anything that much. I've been really, really tired, so I've been sleeping more than usual. Oh, well. I'm also not sleeping at night. So, like, you kind of get what you can, I guess. My second is the Bamboo Pop Sock double layer hat. It's such a long... again, I don't know how much I worked on this month, but we're at the very beginning of we're just working even now. Have a lot to go. I'm not sure how much I've been working. I am this is going to be my next cast on. I have not cast on yet because I just got everything. Like I said, for Katie DeGroff Knits, I'm doing another test knit, and this is a cowl. And I took the leftovers of my shawlography So that's going to be my color palette for this, which is black, gray, and oh my god, gray and charcoal, and a burgundy, and not quite a teal. It's like an ocean blue. So I'm actually trying, because I'm using these more than once for colors. She said I could do whatever I wanted. Because I said, do I need this many colors? She said, do whatever you want. She didn't care how I did the colors. So I had to go by weight and see what... It's cute because it's done with minis, but I don't have a lot of minis. I have a lot of scraps. So it was like trying to come up with coordinating scraps. I had my shawlography left, and I was like, oh, that would look gorgeous. Let's do that. So I decided to do... So each color I should count as two minis, if I can get... So I have it worked down on a piece of paper. I just haven't decided the order yet. So that I'm going to start probably this weekend. I'm trying so hard to get the neutral territory done so I can have that off my plate, and then I can do whatever I want, because there's still another week of the month to go. So I'm not rushing to get anything done. I'm kind of like... But I wanted to do this all at once. I didn't want to be, if I'm doing a test net, I didn't want to be doing anything else. You know what I mean? And I don't know how similar the test net is to her shawl, so I definitely did not want to be doing two of her things at the same time, because it might mess me up if she does similar things. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, I want to get this neutral territory done before I do this, and I'll finish that by the weekend, I'm sure. And then this might be done in a weekend. It's a cowl. It should take me no time at all. So I don't think there's any reason I'm not going to get these last two things done at the end of the month. This, obviously, we're going through summer with. I am not at all putting any pressure on myself to finish that at all. What's next? Now I have Squishy Mail, but it's not technically squishy. It was actually mail, though. It did come in the mail. Okay, first, I think I've shown you, I did, it was Cornbread and Honey mystery box, where I showed you, I got some cornbread and honey. I got some Heidi and Lana stitch markers, and I've been using them, and they have become my favorite, because they're no snag. There's no way for it to snag you, to snag your yarn at all. There's no way. And that's because of how it's almost like a captive bead ring. If you're into body jewelry, it's that kind of, like, a captive bead ring ain't snagging anything either. So the way, here, let's do the one towards the camera. I don't want to take them off this thing yet. So the way it's a ring, right? But then it crosses over itself, and then it bends into the bead, so you can see, like, if you squish them a little. So the end of this is in the bead, and the end of this is in the bead. So it's like a captive bead ring. I don't like the captive bead rings because I find that the beads fall off, or I don't know why I don't. They're just not my favorite for knit markers, but these are, for some reason I like these, but maybe because they're danglier and they're prettier. I don't know. So I already have a set of mediums. Is this a medium? Fits up to size 11. I think this was their medium. And this is the size I got in my mystery box from Cornbread and Honey, and they are like turquoise or something. So I got a lipstick pink to go with those. So because I like to have a couple, they did not have a lot of dark colors. Just saying. It's hard being a goth girl sometimes. So sometimes like when if you're doing like a sweater, for instance, and you need your beginning of round marker, right? If you're doing a thing in the round, like a sweater where you have like raglan points, and you want that first one to be a different color so you know you're starting your round. I like to have a different color of the same thing. So I now have 2 packs of these. One's turquoise and one is pink. And then I got a set in... These were given names, and now the names aren't on them. So this is a dark red, which is kind of pearled. And a black, which might be matte. So black, and these are size small up to size 8 US. So because I do a lot of fingering stuff, again, for tops, I like to have 2 different colors so I can do different things. And then the bigger size for... I mean, I can't imagine that I'm going to do anything on an 11, but for like my worsted and Aran, I could use this, but I don't typically go bigger than that. So it's one thing I waited for. And then this is a company I've never bought from before. This is Whimsical Wood Yarn Co. She calls them these stitch stoppers, but I like it because she swears in her stuff, so earmuffs, guys. Stitch stoppers ram these little guys onto the end of your knitting needles to keep your shit together. So I got thing says a Whimsical Wood Yarn Co. because life's too short to buy shitty yarn. Okay, so I bought, these are Maleficent. It's like a cartoony Maleficent, so, ooh, she's moving. Isn't that magical? So I bought these because Maleficent, and then she also had, because these are 2 of my favorites, right? Even though they're probably directly opposed. My other ones I got are Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman, because I love Wonder Woman. Because I love Wonder Woman. These have holes that go all the way through, which you know are not my favorite, but I want to start using crap like this more. I just do. I just want to just use better things to help me out a little bit more. So this is my, these are kind of squishy, I guess, kind of. That's my squishy mail. So there are some June projects that I'm not sure how much. Okay, the first one is the Ripple. You probably have seen this everywhere. Ripple crop top worsted by Jessie Mae Designs. This is a $10 pattern, which is a bit higher than normal, a bit higher than average. And this is because she does the inclusive sizing, which I love. Even being, and you're like, why? You're small. Yeah, because sometimes you don't actually get your size. Because I'm not actually a woman's size. I am a junior's size. So it's real hard for me to find. Like, I can't go into the women's department, and a lot of times the teenager clothes are like too trendy for someone who's 46 years old. And I'm like, I don't want to wear that. So what I try to do is stick to, that's why I make so many tops. I can design my own tops, so the bottoms are what I have to worry about. And typically you can always find a skirt. You can always find a long black skirt usually. somewhere. Or, you know, stretchy pants. But then they have to be long enough because I'm taller. So it's terrible. Anyway, I need juniors is my point. Anyway, that's why I love size inclusive, because that means it's going to be small enough to fit me. My size will be there at the lower end. And so will the larger ends. This particular pattern goes from 29 to 61 inches, but it's a stretchy one, so it's going to fit more than that. What I also like in these patterns is sometimes if my gauge is off, I can just do a smaller pattern and then it works out. So I like having the extra smalls for that reason too. I don't usually have to go up, but you could, like, if you wanted to do this in fingering weight, you would want to go to a bigger size. So, but she has the pattern in a fingering weight, so I don't know why you would do that. There'd be no reason to do that unless you didn't want to pay for another pattern, I guess. Anyway, it uses DK. It's 15 stitches to 22 rows on a 4mm with 3x3 ribbing. So I still have to do a gauge swatch. Whatever, don't care. I'll do it. Also, this is done from the bottom up. Let me show you a picture of it. I don't know if this is going to cackle over this. So what I want you to notice is, number one, the V-neck, the high back, and also these sleeves don't have to be put on. Which means it looks a whole lot like what? I will show you. It looks a whole like this. The Lunch at Tiffany's by Anna Catherine that I've been wanting to do. Similar. Sleeveless with a V-neck instead of a wrap. So because the Lunch at Tiffany's is beyond my skill level at this point because of the yarn she used and her gauge is ridiculously tight, and I am not a tight knitter, so I don't know if I'm ever going to get that gauge, to be honest. I haven't been able to do it yet. But this 15 to 22 on 4s and 3x3 ribbing, I mean, I don't know how to measure 3x3 ribbing. I don't know how to measure, because that's going to be so stretchy. Then I'm kind of thinking it's really not going to matter. So that's why I hate when they do that. I might just start it. I might not do a gauge swatch, and I always do a gauge swatch, but I might not this time. So these are the two colors I'm thinking of. This is Cotton Supreme DK from Universal Yarn Inc. This is a relatively inexpensive. This one was bought so many years ago. It's $8.99, and this was bought more recently, and it's $10. I have 3 of both of these, and I was going, because this is a really, remember I was looking for a soft alternative to that Cotton Basic. This is it. This is as soft as that Cotton Basic. However, this is wildly available to me. So I might just like buy this in a bunch of colors. But first I wanted to make them in these, I'm thinking these two specifically, into the ripple top. Isn't it weird that the ripple top was like a bluey? It was like a bluey and I got a green. I always think that's weird. I always have something similar, and then I'm like, am I thinking that just because, you know what I mean? Like, what did I think of this yarn because of the color of this picture? I don't know. But I was thinking, I don't know which one to use first. I will probably do both because I have 3 skeins of each, and I don't know what else I would use this for. Because I'd like to do a longer top, no sleeves, okay? So long, like these are long, with no sleeves. So it looks like that lunch at Tiffany's that I want to do. I think that will be close enough that it won't matter to me. So green or gray? What do you think? Green or gray? I'm letting you guys pick. Please leave a comment. Green or gray? What do you want? I'll let you guys pick. Green or gray for the first one. I'll probably end up doing both, but I had bought these years ago with absolutely nothing, and then feeling them today, I'm like, this feels just like the Cotton Basic. Let's buy more of this. Because I do think it would make great tops, great of these tops. But what do you think? Gray, green, gray, green, gray, green. Both these colors look good on me. I'll wear this with black. I'll wear this with black, so it doesn't matter. They'll both get worn because this is my favorite color to look at, to be honest. I will look at this color all day long. It makes me feel good. This I will wear. I have no problem wearing. But this, I'm wondering if I should keep this and make little tops. But then, like, I'm going to have a lot left over. So I don't want to, I could always buy more of this color to make a top is my point. Because I have 3. I want to use them up. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing that I am thinking of doing is called Ribbed to Your Measure by Lacey Williamson. And this is fingering weight yarn, 32 stitches by 32 rows. I don't know how I'm going to get that. 3.25 2x2 ribbing. And this pattern goes from size 28 to 68. So again, size inclusive. This pattern is $7. Now, what's neat about this one is it can be done top down or bottom up. Okay, I'm going to show it to you now. I know what you're thinking. This looks like it's made for people with ginormous chests. And yes, it is. But that's because it's all stretchy. You're also like, what is with that really high neckline? Yeah, I know. But I can just elongate the straps a little bit and get it lower. I want this because I think it would be a great layering piece, even like a bra that's going to cover more than what these cropped ones do, because these cropped ones still leave me kind of, I thought this would be great for sleeping and wearing under things, and also in the summer if it's really hot because it's cropped. So I'm probably going to do the top down, and I'm going to make that a little bit longer. This isn't just for big busty girls though, because some of the people were not big and busty. I'm trying to think if she showed any on the first page. But it's not just for big. Okay, they don't have any on the main page. There's some in projects, but I don't want to show you this because I feel like if it's not on the project page, then you wouldn't have access to that unless you are a Ravelry, and I don't want to show anyone's picture that didn't want to be on here. So I really want to do, also I think it would be cute with some of my single skeins of fingering that I don't know what else to do with, like especially my sparkly ones. What I'm thinking of is, you'll recognize this Tina's Twisted Fiber in Gray Heart. This is 100% superwash merino, 490 yards. There's just something about this that is screaming that it wants to be that, so I just want to let it be that. I don't know why this is, I don't know. These are not colors. I mean, well, the burgundy, obviously, yes. And the gray, yes. Um, this has been calling to me since I saw it, like, make me, knit me up. I don't know why I want to do this so bad. Because I'm like, there's other projects you could do, but I'm like, why don't we, it's going to be June, why don't we work on warm, projects for warmer weather? I also think that ribbed sheer measure would look great under a cardigan. There's so many things where I don't want this open, but I could get it as low as I can where it won't bother me. I have that much control, right? Then if I go top down, I can just do it until I run out of yarn, which is my favorite thing to do. And I think this is the skein for it. Do you think this is the skein? I think this is the skein for it. Okay. Now, I did have plans to take all of that cotton I got and make some crop tops. The crop tops that I make. This is the Kotlin one, so don't pay attention to this. So those can be worked very easily. I might just do those on the weekends. I might take the weekends and just make whatever of those that I want. But there's something else I wanted to make. And it is this that I've been wearing, because I've been wearing this a lot. And I found that I have 3 skeins of Cascade 220. This is not the superwash. This is the 220, which is non-superwash, and I believe it's Peruvian Highland. $220 yards. No, I don't want to take it. I just want to look at this. Yes, 100% Peruvian Highland wool. Okay, now, if you like Peruvian Highland wool, I gotta tell you, this is a few steps up from Wool of the Andes. Wool of the Andes to me is scratchy, and I don't find a lot of wools scratchy. As you go down and breed, yes, I do find them scratchy. But I've never seen a merino and thought, oh, that's scratchy. A lot of people use the word rustic for anything that's not superwash. Mohair is not scratchy to me. Nothing is scratchy to me until you get to the breeds that are not used for yarn next to the skin. Do you know what I mean? There are breeds. I don't know what those breeds are because I don't know breeds, but I mean, I know merino and I know Highland Peruvian. And this is one of my favorite fibers. Favorite fiber, Peruvian Highland wool. My absolute favorite. Like I said, the blue sky fiber is top of the line for me that I have experienced. Not that I've bought all of them, obviously, haven't tried every one, but that blue sky fiber wool stock worsted is chef's kiss. Perfect. This is right behind it for me. It's not as soft and silky. It's still soft and bouncy and delicious. It doesn't have that silkiness that the other one has, and I don't know how they have it. But this is not too expensive. So if you are wanting to try, I definitely recommend this yarn. It's one of my favorites. So I was thinking with 3, that would be enough to make 2 sleeves, a back, and this ribbed collar-ish thing. Also, if I have some left, I have a cropped top that I made in this that is just a smidge too small, too short, so I'd like to add some onto the bottom of it. So I'm really wanting to do this with this, but I'm like, is June the right time for it? Because now it's going to be really, really hot. And should we maybe push this back to maybe August, the end of August? Or should we wait for August to pull this in? Because that's when things like in September are going to be a little bit cooler, and we might want this, like, because basically we're coming into June where it's going to start to be 80 degrees. And I'm like, do I really need this now? I could probably use this for any of the days I'm going to need it and do this later. Did I just talk myself out of doing this project that I really, really want to do? Okay. So, okay, maybe August. Do you think, because I think, okay, the ripple crop top worsted, which actually can call for DK weight, and that, what is the 230 yards? Okay, so it's a thicker DK. I don't think I'm going to have any problem with this at all on a 4. Anyway, even if I did, it's a summer top, so I'm going to be wearing something under it anyway, so I don't care. So we have a worsted top that calls for like 2, I think the pattern calls for 2.5 gram, 250 grams for that, including the sleeves, which I'm not doing the sleeves, which means I have an extra 50 grams to go to the body, plus the other, since I have 300 grams, and that's 250, I have an extra 50, so I actually have an extra whole skein to go for the rest of the body. So, and if I have anything left out of making both of them, I could make a cropped top in both colors. Win-win, right? And then the other thing is this, which is fingering weight. And you know I like to only do one fingering weight at a time. And if we do the cotton cropped tops, those are DK, I think. No. The Cotton was DK. I think these are worsted. I'm pretty sure they're worsted. Okay. Because I'm remembering I went there to find something this soft, and they didn't carry this. I don't know why, because all of the other LYSs cover this, because I've actually bought both of these in person from the same store. This is really as soft as the Cotton Basics, so I really do want to get some to make tops, my these tops. But because they're cotton, I can't over dye these. I am at the whim of whatever they have. So I'll probably get a black to make a black one, and then I'll probably get enough black to make one of the ripple tops if I like them. I think I will like the ripple tops. I think it's just like, I think it's enough of the Breakfast at Tiffany's that I wanted, because I don't really care if it wraps. I really don't care about the wrapping. I just wanted the V-neck silhouette thing and the sleeveless. So I think it'll be just the same. I don't think I'm going to find really any difference of why I couldn't do that one to this one. And at that point, I don't know, because the armholes on the ripple crop look kind of big on some of the people wearing it. Here's why I hate when people don't show a picture of them wearing the thing, and I hate when they don't say what size they are and what size they made, or say I made this in the size medium, which I like, because then I know how much your yardage means, you know what I mean? Then I can see your yardage, and that gives me stuff to think to, you know. So if you're like, I made the size small, then I can look at your yardage and go, okay, this is what kind of yardage, because I always want to see what people's yardage actually is to what the pattern specifies the yardage is. Like, I'm like, no. So then I like them to say, this has this much positive or negative ease. So you don't have to say your measurements, but you can say, like, you can figure that out. Like, if I'm a 32, and if I made the 36, I could say I made the small. This gives 4 inches positive ease, and then I could give you my my yardage, right? And then you could see, like, that's why it's so helpful to fill those out for everyone else. I try to put in as much information as I can to help people decide if they want to make that thing, because I get so frustrated with making stuff and then you run out, and because the pattern was wrong, and then you find out that if you looked at everyone else's, they could have told you they used more yarn too. Whether they did or not is up to them. So try to give as much information as because we're looking at it. Yes, the cotton crops. Yeah, we could do those on the weekends. I'm trying to think. I don't think that the cotton crop tops are gonna make. That is bottom up. That bothers me. That bothers me a little bit. Because I'm thinking of doing like a provisional cast on farther up and doing the top, right? Actually, I haven't looked at it yet, so I'm wondering if I could easily reverse it and make it top down. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be that hard. I've done it before. And it's a 3x3 ribbing. So that right there is going to tell you a lot about the math. So I'm like, I'm not sure it'd be that hard to make it top down. Just because top down, you can keep going till you run out of yarn. And then you don't have to worry when you start your thing if you have enough yarn left to finish the top or not. That's how I like to do things. So I might just... Where's the neighbor going? Oh, she's got people in her driveway. So that's what I might do. I might do that. I might do it, I might try to work it top down. I wonder if there's any mods that anyone's done it top down. I should probably check her Ravelry group for that. Everyone's sleeping and it's 2:30. Yeah, I have 3. That's the end of my knitting content. I don't have any more knitting content for you. Oh, wait a second. I'll tell you what's next week, and I can already tell you it's finished objects. It's whatever objects I finished in May, which I think there's 1 so far. Short show. No, it'll be terribly long. Anyway, maybe this will just be a short thing and I'll just cut everything out because everything I'm saying is sounding stupid in my head. And I don't have any... I'm trying to think of if there's anything coming up. If there's anything... Oh, I have a bunch of new subscribers. Should have done that in the beginning. So... I don't know what I'm doing. I just lost my thought process like halfway through the show. Could you tell? I bet you could. Okay, I'm going to try to figure out what color. Remember, gray or green. Gray or green, tell me. I don't really have a... I don't think I have a... Yeah, I don't think I have a... I don't think I have a preference because eventually they're both going to be made, but it's like, which one am I going to mess up with first? Like, do I want to right? Do I want to mess up with the green or do I want to mess up with the gray? Which one? I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyway, feel free to leave me comments or whatever. We have new subscribers, so maybe I will be more active at going through the comments and replying. Sometimes I just don't have the mental and emotional energy to do that because I hate social media. I hate it. It's like I don't know what's going to be said to me and if I'm going to get attacked or not, So I don't like it. So leave nice comments. If you want to leave a comment, leave a nice, like every time I'm like, you left a comment, I'm like, oh gosh. Or like Instagram and I got I got a DM. I'm like, oh, is this someone yelling at me? Because it's instant. It's like the same anxiety I would get if I was at home alone and the phone rang and I did not want to answer the phone. But my mom would get mad if you were home and didn't answer the phone. If it was her, she would get mad. So before we had cell phones, you had one phone at your home. Anyway, come back next week for finished objects from the month of May. Which are like 2? Maybe 2? Might be 3. Anyway. I don't know. I'm gonna stop asking you questions. No one answers my questions anyway. No one watches my show. It does not. None of it matters. None of this matters. Okay. I'll see you next week. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.